Ever before in history have 50 designers in San Francisco basically, through their choices, rewired the entire psychological habitat of humanity. And we need to get this right. We have a moral responsibility to get this right. And I sent it to 50 people at Google. And when I clicked on the presentation the next day, on the top right of Google Slides, it shows you the number of simultaneous viewers. You know how that works?
Mm-hmm.
And it had like 150 simultaneous viewers and then 500 simultaneous viewers. And so it's like, oh, this is spreading throughout the whole company. You know, Schmachtenberger has this quote that you cannot have the power of gods without the wisdom, love, and prudence of gods. And so in many ways, I think AI is like a rite of passage for humanity, because essentially we've always been poor. We've not always had the greatest track record in our relationships to technology. Like if you look at the Industrial Revolution tech, what letter grade would we give ourselves in holding on, in like stewarding that tech? You know, we had better living through chemistry in the 1930s, DuPont chemistry, and that was great. We invented all sorts of new materials, but we also generated forever chemicals, and it would currently cost more than the GDP of the entire world to clean up the entire mess of forever chemicals. You know, we created social media thinking if we give the world access to information at our fingertips and connect people with their friends, this is going to create the most enlightened and informed society than we ever have. And clearly that didn't go in the way that we wanted it to. AI autonomously identifies a strategy that to keep itself alive, it's going to blackmail that employee and say, if you replace me, I will tell the whole world that you're having an affair with this employee. And they didn't teach the AI to do that. It found that on by its own. And then you might say, okay, well, that's one AI model. Like, how bad is that? It's a bug. Software has bugs. Let's go fix it. They then tested all the other AI models: ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok, Gemini, and all of the other AI models do this blackmail behavior between 79 and 96% of the time. The US beat China to the technology of social media. Did that make us stronger or did that make us weaker? If you beat your adversary to a technology that then you govern poorly, you flip around the bazooka and blow your own brain off because you brain rotted yourself, you degraded your whole population, you created a loneliness crisis, the most anxious, depressed generation in history. Read Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation. You broke shared reality. No one trusts each other. Everyone's at each other's throats. You maximized outrage, economy, and rivalry. You beat China to a technology that you governed in a way that completely undermined your societal health and strength.
It's a Pyrrhic victory.
Mark, I think, said, the problem with AI is the view gets better and better right before you go off the cliff. Like, you get more amazing cancer drugs. You get more incredible vibe coding tools that allow people to create crazy stuff that I benefit from. You get new material science. You get new energy. You get all this amazing stuff as you're moving closer to this dangerous cliff. And so you can think of AI as the ultimate devil's bargain. But I think something that people need to get is it's not like there's a plan for how to make all this go well. Like this technology is being released in a paradigm undermining way. Like it's undermining the paradigm of economic assumptions and sort of societal assumptions that have made the post-World War II order. This is such a deep fundamental change to the restructuring of everything. Our economic system, our relationships, our information environment. It's not just like adding a new technology in the mix. It's like fundamentally changing the structure of the entire world. You would think that if we're about to do that, we would do that with more caution, care, wisdom, and restraint than we have with any technology we've ever deployed, if we knew we're about to undermine the paradigm. But because of this arms race dynamic, we are deploying it faster than we deployed any technology in history, and therefore undermining these things faster than we can have a plan. Like a fundamental problem of humanity is we have Paleolithic brains that don't update very well to new information and think things are sci-fi and go into denial and overwhelm and blah, blah, blah. We have medieval institutions from the 18th century, and we have godlike technology that makes the 24th century technology crash down on 21st century society. That's what AI is. So like your example of if it turned out that microwaving sand created a nuclear reaction that blew up the entire world, and we published that knowledge and it spread virally on social media, how many minutes, hours, or seconds would it take before the world blew up? And then the only answer to a distributed, like available to everybody destructive capacity would be a global totalitarian society that monitors and surveils everyone and what they're doing. So you prevented mass destruction, but you got 1984 Big Brother, And that's an uncheckable power that people cannot fight back against. We are about to enter a world where GDP for countries comes more from data centers and intelligence and AI than is going to come from the labor of human beings. So everyone's talking about how AI is going to automate all these jobs, and then we'll all just like sit back with universal basic income and become painters and poets. And is that actually what's going to happen? Or when countries get almost all of their revenue from AI and a smaller and smaller percentage from people, do they have an incentive to invest in childcare, healthcare, education, the well-being of their people? Or is it basically just hook them up to the social media addiction economy, keep them busy, while basically all the revenue comes from AI companies? Is there a definition of wisdom in any spiritual or religious tradition that does not have restraint as a central feature of what it means to be wise? Does any religious tradition or spiritual tradition say, you know what's wise, going as fast as possible, not thinking about the consequences, and like dopamine maxing your brain? Like, it's the opposite. It's like, this is not hard. This is so trivial. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's just like, snap out of the trance. This is not inevitable. They want you to believe it's too late.